I guess it's time. Lejeune watched as the frightened little girl curled next to the hurt man. The man just stared back at Lejeune as if examining him. The man had cuts all over and a big wound on the right side of his body. Fran and Rox leaned forward to see what was happening. Lejeune knelt down and touched the man's arm and started looking him over, then looked at the frightened girl. The man never stopped looking at him as Lejeune examined him up and down. The man was of average build with dark hair and what looked like pieces of glasses once on his head. He wore a thin white and green jacket with a special logo on it that Lejeune couldn't make out because it was mostly ripped off. He also had big hands for what Lejeune could tell, or maybe they were swollen. He didn't stay too much on the hands, and what caught his eye was on his wrist. On his left wrist was a strange-looking watch device, not circular or squarish, but a triangle with the points cut off. It didn't appear to have numbers or read digitally. It was just blinking multiple lights at once, purple, red, and green. Lejeune leaned over to take a closer look. That's when the man leaned his body to the left, blocking his view. Fran looked around the ship. It seemed like everyone who was capable of leaving had left the ship, as the sounds from earlier within the ship had gone quiet. Fran exchanged looks with Rox, and they agreed, and they refocused back on Lejeune. "What are we going to do with them? We have to go now," Fran spoke out. Lejeune takes a look at the girl. She is curled up next to the man and hasn't moved or made a peep. Lejeune touches her softly. "Hey, what's your name, little one?" The girl pokes her head out. She was a lovely little girl with red curls and blue eyes and one freckle. Miraculously, she was unharmed. From what Lejeune could tell, the man must have gotten her in that ball just in time. She looked at the man, then at Lejeune. The man, readjusting himself, put himself on his back flat and let out a deep breath, then finally spoke. "I don't know who you are or what rank you are, but take her out of here. She's okay, I made sure of it." His words were coming out slowly and low, but clear enough for Lejeune and the others to hear. "She doesn't speak, but she understands really well. Her name is Raya. She's one of the lost ones." Fran and Rox, who stood right behind Lejeune, listened carefully as they've heard of that term before. Lejeune looked at Raya. She seemed a little shaken and frightened, but okay. No one really saw a lost one as he looked over her again. The man's watch of a thing caught Lejeune's eye once more. "It's Katva. I made it. It's one of my solutions that will aid in this whole ordeal that we are dealing with back on Round 7 and soon everywhere else." "What's your name?" Lejeune asked the man. Lejeune watches as the man is taking slower and slower breaths. "Take it," he says, "and the ones in my right pocket." Lejeune, wanting to hear the man's name, obeys and reaches into the man's right pocket. In there was no things, but there were three objects, one ring-shaped and two what seemed like earrings. "Give them to Mr. Marks. He'll know what to do with them," the man says. Mr. Marks was a well-known name, one of the big 10 in the solar system. This man that Lejeune was looking at was very important.